When is it not necessary to assert boundaries? Psychologists say you should always set your boundaries and assert them. But do you always? When you haven't been able to do something for a long time or have forbidden yourself to do it, and then suddenly you learn or allow it, the natural reaction is to start applying this skill in every situation. This is often the case with psychotherapy. We learn to say no, to express aggression, to protect our interests. These are all very necessary and important. But in every situation, the captain's option, when no one is actually violating the boundaries. Our psyche loves to back up and sound the alarm on anything that remotely resembles danger. If your boundaries have been regularly violated in the past, your sirens can go off in any similar situation. A similar word, intonation, facial feature, setting, or just a topic can trigger you. For example, if your mom strongly controlled you as a child by reading your diary, as an adult a simple question, "How was your day?" can trigger a defensive reaction. It's the brain's way of conserving resources. Faced with something during his growing up, a person forms patterns of behavior. The brain needs this so that every time it does not have to reflex and develop a behavioral strategy anew. It's like brushing your teeth. We learn to do it once, and then we just do it on a template so that the brain is not actively involved in the process. In psychology, such patterns of behavior are also known as adaptation mechanisms. In fact, these mechanisms are the initial mechanisms of psychological defense, and later become character traits. To prevent these mechanisms from controlling us in terms of boundaries, it is important to periodically review, where are my boundaries? Are they accurately being encroached upon right now? Am I reacting to a situation long past instead of reacting to what is actually happening? Yes, with this revision, our brains become active, reflexive. But it's the only way to change our patterns. When is the cost not worth the output? Protecting boundaries is an energy-consuming endeavor. It takes more than one or two conversations to explain to another person how you can and cannot be treated. You have to prepare for such a conversation, gather your courage, and find the right words. Sometimes such conversations turn out to be painful and unproductive. If everything succeeds, the relationship can reach a better level. But is every person worth the effort? For example, if you work in a toxic collective, it will be more caring to find another company than to spend yourself on constant clarification of relations. When are defense methods disproportionate to the threat or turn violent? If you are very sensitive about something, there is a possibility of snapping at a person who may not even have anything to do with it. For example, a former partner cheated on you, and now in a new relationship you are ready to aggress on any of his communication with other people. But this does not mean that you should ignore your discomfort. On the contrary, it's a reason to deal with your traumas. At the very least, take a pause between the trigger and your reaction. Being able to assert personal boundaries is fine. But it is important to understand that the methods of defense should be commensurate with the threat and not be violence itself. The energy expenditure to defend your boundaries should be justified and not hurt others. And most importantly, your personal boundaries should not turn into a personal prison, when you put yourself and other people in a constant frame of reference when communicating with you and are not ready to give in, not ready to try something new, not ready to open up to the world and live life to the fullest.